If pressure lingers long after the moment is over, if your body stays tight, your mind keeps replaying, or your energy never quite comes back, that is not weakness. That, in fact, is a nervous system that never got the signal that the meeting's over or the situation's over. Today I'm going to show you why high performers struggle to recover after pressure and how to stop carrying stress long after the performance ends. This video is not about resilience. It is about completion. What you'll learn in this video is why your system stays activated after pressure, why moving on doesn't work, and how elite performers reset faster without suppressing or numbing. This is for people who want to perform often and pay for it quietly. Most people assume recovery happens automatically. You handled the meeting, the presentation ends, the conversation is over. So you tell yourself, I should be fine now, everything is over. But the nervous system doesn't recover based on logic. It recovers based on a signal. And most high performers never send that signal that the pressure has ended. Your system under pressure mobilizes resources, your focus, your energy, your control. But if there's no clear endpoint, the system stays engaged. This shows up as mental replay, emotional residue, physical tension, difficulty sleeping or even relaxing. Not because the moment was so traumatic, but because it was incomplete. There was no closure. High performers are especially bad at recovery. Why is that? Yours truly is one of those. Because high performers move straight to the next task. They skip reflection. They minimize the impact and they stay productive instead of being present. They never close the loop. So the system stays braced for the pressure. Efficiency becomes the enemy of recovery. And recovery isn't necessarily rest. It is resolution. High performers reset by doing one thing most people skip. They mark completion. That can look like physically pausing, naming that the moment is over, letting the system register safety again, or making a note that what was accomplished during the meeting or what was missed, and better yet, what went well and what needed improvement. You can also build closure by sending a personal brief recap of the meeting, of what was achieved, what is open, and what action items may be on the table, and who owns these. Done. Off the table. This isn't emotional processing. It is actually physiologic closure. When the system knows, I survived, I'm safe, this phase is done, I'm closing the book, turn the page, it stands down. Energy returns, your clarity comes back, tension releases. Let's move on to the next task, right? Next. Fast recovery doesn't mean nothing affected you. But what it does mean is the stress response ends when the moment ends. You don't carry the pressure into the next interaction. You don't keep replaying and ruminating or staying guarded. This is a big one. How many of you think back and try to replay in your mind what happened, and we don't necessarily always remember what was said? That will keep you in this elevated state when you keep replaying it. You need to close the door and move on. You're available again when you do that. That is not resilience. That is nervous system efficiency. So if pressure keeps following you, the problem isn't the pressure. It's the lack of closure. High performers don't burn out because they feel too much. They burn out because they never complete the stress cycle. Recovery is not optional. It is a performance skill. If you haven't watched the videos on anticipatory load and defensiveness under pressure, watch those next. Those explain how pressure loads before it starts, how it hijacks, especially during the moment. And this video shows you how to release it afterward so that it doesn't compound after the event. So I hope these videos are helpful. If they are, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we will see you all on the next one.